In the quiet, dimly lit town of Willowbrook, nestled beneath the shadow of an ancient, sprawling forest, there lived a man named Samuel. He was an introverted soul, known to few, and he spent most of his days immersed in books and the solitude of his small, creaky house. Samuel's life was marked by a peculiar affliction. He suffered from a sleep disorder that trapped him in a realm of vivid, unsettling dreams. Every night, as the world around him slumbered, he would venture into the treacherous labyrinth of his own subconscious. Samuel's dreams were unlike any other. They weren't the pleasant reveries that most people experienced, but were instead a nightmarish descent into the deepest corners of his psyche. In these dreams, he would wander through distorted landscapes, populated by grotesque and nightmarish creatures. The torment of his nightly ordeals was only surpassed by his inability to awaken from them. One fateful night, Samuel's dream took a particularly harrowing turn. He found himself standing on the precipice of a bottomless chasm, surrounded by a sickly mist that obscured everything beyond a few feet. As he inched closer to the edge, a gut-wrenching fear gripped him, and he realized he was unable to move away. He watched helplessly as the ground beneath his feet crumbled, and he tumbled into the void. His fall seemed eternal, but eventually, he landed on a damp, cold floor. Before him lay a forsaken, decrepit village shrouded in perpetual twilight. The once stalwart buildings were now crumbling ruins, and eerie whispers filled the air. Samuel was trapped in this forsaken place, unable to wake up. As he explored the desolate village, Samuel encountered grotesque apparitions. Shadowy figures with twisted features lurked in the corners of his vision, and disembodied voices echoed in his ears. The nightmares were no longer confined to his sleep. They had become his waking reality. Desperation clawed at Samuel's psyche as he yearned to escape this living nightmare. He roamed the decaying streets, searching for an exit that seemed perpetually out of reach. Time lost all meaning in this twisted dreamscape, and Samuel's sanity began to fray. Days turned into weeks, and Samuel's existence became a twisted paradox. He was a prisoner in his own dream, unable to return to his body. The torment of his waking nightmare continued as he watched his loved ones mourn his physical form, unaware that he was trapped in a liminal space, lost between the realms of dreams and reality. Samuel's despair grew with each passing day, and he began to explore his new, ethereal existence. He discovered that he could manipulate the dream world to some extent, bending it to his will. But his powers were limited, and the nightmarish landscape remained a dangerous, unpredictable place. As time stretched on, Samuel's connection to the waking world began to blur. He couldn't remember what his face looked like, or the sound of his own voice. He could no longer distinguish between the twisted dreamscape and the fading memories of his former life. One day, in a fit of desperation, Samuel tried to communicate with the living. He found that he could project his thoughts into their dreams, leaving faint traces of his presence. But his messages were cryptic and unsettling, driving those who received them to the brink of madness. The people of Willowbrook whispered about the haunted dreams that plagued their nights, and fear gripped the town. As the years passed, Samuel's consciousness continued to deteriorate. He became a ghostly echo of his former self, a lost soul forever trapped in the twilight realm between dreams and reality. His story became a chilling legend in Willowbrook, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurked in the depths of the human mind. And so, in the small, quiet town of Willowbrook, the legend of Samuel grew. They spoke of the man who ventured too deep into the abyss of his own mind, forever lost in a dream from which he could never awaken. His story served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of the boundary between the waking world and the realm of nightmares, a boundary that, once crossed, could never be uncrossed. Samuel had become a prisoner of his own mind, condemned to wander the endless corridors of his own subconscious for all eternity, a specter forever lost in the twilight between dreams and reality.